Okay, hello everyone. Resume natin yung ating discussion on the review material on non-current assets held for sale. This time, pag-usapan po natin yung sagot, yung solution sa 10 MCQ problems that I have prepared. So, beginning with question number 1. Okay. Measurement. Ano hinahanap? Alin dito yung tama sa 4, no? Okay, pero we have to solve. An entity classifies a machine as held for sale after the commitment of the management to sell the asset. No, at nasatisfy yung criteria. On the date of classification, ang carrying amount ay 1.6, fair value ay 1.45, but the cost to sell is 90. Alin dito yung tama? Okay. Una, yung machine daw is measured at 1,360 upon classification as held for sale. Okay, labas ko lang yung aking calculator, no? Saan galing yung 1,360? Malamang hindi yan dito galing, so 1,600, no? Pero, itong 1,450, bawas mo yung 90 kasi fair value less cost to sell, that is your 1,360,000. Sabi natin, whichever is lower between the two amounts, so ito yung pipiliin natin. So, tama yung unang statement. Pangalawa, an impairment loss daw of 240,000 is recognized at the date of classification. Kasi sa libro mo, it's 1.6, naging 1,360, ibaba. Okay? 240. Tama naman. Pangatlo, no? Depreciation ceases from the date the asset is classified. That is also correct. Any subsequent increase in fair value less cost to sell is recognized immediately in profit or loss without limitation. Class, mali po yun. No? Ano yung mali? Kung meron kang subsequent increase sa fair value less cost to sell, meron tayong reversal ng impairment. Kaya nga lang, ang nagpamali dito ay etong statement na without limitation. Kasi, pwede po tayong magkaroon ng reversal, gain on reversal, no, sa impairment loss, but only to the limit, no, yung previously recognized impairment loss, yung cumulative impairment loss na na-recognize natin. So, hindi pwede na without limit. Okay, so, mali po yung pang-apat, kaya ang tamang sagot ay 1, 2, and 3. It's letter D. Okay? Ito naman, hindi naman, complicated yung mga tanong. We'll just have to, get our, fix our understanding of the concept and apply this, no? And syempre, kailangan din natin ng analysis ng statements. Pero hindi naman siya complicated na mga tanong. Okay. O, itong number 2. Problem solving, pero ganun din. No, papaano ba? Ano bang tamang sagot dito? Alin sa mga sumusunod yung tama? Ano bang meron? Meron kang held for sale na machine. Ang carrying amount, 3.2. Yung fair value, 3,050,000. Cost to sell, 120. O ganun ulit. 3,2. O, ewan ko na lang kung mali-mali pa kayo dyan. 3,2 minus 120. Magkano yan? 3,080,000. Tama ba? Ay, sandali. Mali. 3,050,000 pala yung fair value. Minus 120. 2,930,000 upon classification. Yan din yon, di ba? Tapos, ganun ulit. Impairment loss. Yung 2,930, compare mo doon sa 3,200,000, you have a 270,000 impairment loss. Okay? Yung pangatlo, depreciation continues after classification. Mali po yung pangatlo. Kasi sabi natin dito sa pangatlo, ceases. And pangapat, the measurement is based on recoverable amount. Mali din po yan. Bakit? Yung measurement mo based on the lower between the carrying amount and the fair value less cost to sell. Wala pa naman tayong reclassification dyan. So, ang tamang sagot, number 2, letter A. So, kung tama ka sa number 1, dapat tama ka rin sa number 2 because they are just the same banana. Magkaiba lang yung mga amounts. Okay. But how about number 3? Kasi yung number 3, meron tayo ditong work by computation. Magkano daw yung carrying amount ng machine immediately before it was classified as held for sale? Okay. Carrying amount ha. Upon classification, may na-recognize ka daw, excuse me, na impairment loss for 20. Actually, ito, puro lang naman kwento, pero hindi ka naman papahirapan sa pag-solve. Kasi dalawa lang naman yung amounts. May impairment loss ka for 20. Mayroon kang fair value less cost to sell, 2,080,000. Ang ewan na lang dito, kung mali ka pa ng pag-intindi. No? Kasi it's either pagsamahin mo sila or ipagbawas mo. Kasi pag binawas mo yung 420 sa 2,080,000, anong makukuha natin? Letter A, 1,660. Pag pinagsama mo yung dalawa, ang makukuha mo naman ay letter C, 2.5. Or, ang gawin mo, yung 2,080,000 lang. O kaya naman, doblehin mo yung 420, idagdag mo dito. Okay? Kaya letter D. Pero class, ang sagot natin dito ay letter C, 2,500,000. Pagsamahin. Bakit? Yung machine daw measured under cost model before classification. Pero hindi nga natin alam kung magkano yung carrying amount, no? Okay? Depreciation had been charged normally prior to classification. Eh, okay. Pero hindi naman siya, makakatulong. Kung ang fair value less cost to sell mo, 2,080,000, at nagkaroon ka ng impairment loss, ibig sabihin, ito yung pinili mo na amount. Okay? Lower between the carrying amount and the fair value less cost to sell. Otherwise, kung mas malaki yung fair value less cost to sell, edi yung carrying amount lang ang gagamitin mo. Tama po ba? So, kung ang carrying amount mo ay 2,500,000 at ang fair value less cost to sell mo ay 2,080,000, o di nag-write down ka, meron kang impairment loss. So, kaya ang sagot natin ay letter C. In-add back lang natin si impairment loss. Pero careful kayo kasi halimbawa, ang nilagay dito, the carrying amount is 2,080,000. May impairment loss ka na 420. Okay. Mababago ba yung problem natin doon? Okay. So, tignan natin. Okay. So, titignan natin yung ating relationships. Yung relationships ng ating mga accounts at yung mga amounts. Ito, straightforward lang pero ang makakalito lang ng konti kung idadagdag ba or ibabawas. Alright, so ganun lang po yung number 3. Moving on po tayo, workbook computation din itong number 4. Okay. Magkano daw yung yung estimated useful life bago siya i-classify as held for sale? Ito, medyo magandang pang exercise ng ating mga brain cells. Meron kang pagmamay-ari na machine. The machine has been accounted for under the cost model. Noong December 31, 2025, classified siya as NCA-HFS, no? Upon classification, yung carrying amount ay 3.6, the fair value less cost to sell ay 3 million. But the machine was originally acquired on January 1, 2020 at a cost of 5.4. Cost of 5.4. Okay, depreciated on a straight line with no residual and annual depreciation is based on its estimated useful life. Okay, 5.4 ang cost niya, January 1, 2020. Classify mo siya, 2025, year end. Carrying amount mo, sorry. Sorry. Ang carrying amount mo ay 3.6 na. Konti na lang, makisama ka lang lalamunan. 1.8. Kung ang 1.8 yung accumulated depreciation mo from January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2025, ilang taon yan? 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ito, 5. Tama ba? Okay. Parang may nakikita na nga akong mali sa solution. 6 na taon. Pag divide natin yung 1.8 ng 6 na taon, we will have 300,000. Okay? Alright, ayan, sige. So, tignan natin. Parang may mali sa control copy na tinitignan ko. Ulitin ko lang ha. Kung 5.4 million minus, ayan, minus, magkano nga? Ang carrying amount mo 3.6. Carrying amount yan, di ba? Okay. 1.8 na yan. From January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2025. So, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Yung 1.8, pag dinivide mo yan ng 6, meron kang, teka, isulat ko na nga lang dito, no, para nasusundan ninyo ako. 5.4 million minus 3.6 million. Ay, sorry na. Nasaan napunta? Okay. 5.4 million minus 3.6 million equals 1.8 million. 1.8 million divided by 6 years, di ba? Equals 300,000 annual. Annually yan. No? Now, if annual natin ay 300,000, i-divide natin ngayon yung 5.4 sa 300K. Tingnan natin. 5,400,000 divided by 300,000. 18 years. Wala sa choices. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, wala yung tamang sagot. And, ang ano nito, based doon sa computation, no? So, teka, sulat ko muna ha. 300K, it should be 18 years. Ito yung tama, based dito, no? Pero, kaya ito nagkamali kasi doon sa computation, ang count niya lang ay 5 years. So, para masundan natin at maitama pa rin natin yung hindi na natin baguhin yung options, yung answers, no? Yung choices, gawin na lang natin itong January 1, 2021. Okay? So, kung 2021 yan, ibig sabihin 5 years. Yung 1.8 million divided by 5 years, that will give us with an annual depreciation of 360,000. So, ulitin ko lang ha, pinalitan po natin ito, ginawa nating 2021. So, with that, it will now become 5 years and the annual depreciation is 360. Pag dinivide natin ngayon yung 5.4 sa 360, meron tayong answer na 15 years. Okay? So, ayan. Ito dapat yung ating sagot. So, pa-correct na lang sa number 4. It should be January 1, 2021. Yan na lang yung palitan natin para hindi na natin babaguhin ito. Pero kung based tayo sa original, as presented to you, the solution, it should be 18 years and not any of the choices. Okay? So, I hope klaro po tayo dyan, Ana. Okay. Next question po tayo. Question number 5. Loss on sale naman ang tinatanong. Magkano daw ang i-recognize na loss on sale nung binenta siya on December 31, 2025? So, meron ka pagmamay-ari na machine. Ginamit mo yung cost model. No? On June 30, management decides to sell the machine and classifies it as held for sale. At that date, the carrying amount is 5.4, while its fair value is 4.8. The estimated cost to sell is 300. Or 8 minus 300, 4.5. Diba? Now, kung 4.5 yan, compare mo doon sa 5.4. Sorry. Asa na nga yan? 5.4. Compare mo doon sa 4.5. Di meron kang 900,000, di ba? Okay? Na impairment loss. Pero, ano ba tinatanong? Ang tinatanong ay loss on sale. Okay. The machine daw is sold on December 31 for an amount of 4.2 net of selling cost. Naka-net na siya. So, ito na yon. So, kung 4.2 mo yan, binenta, at yung ating carrying amount is the lower amount between 5.4 and 4.5. Hindi meron tayong 300,000 loss. Okay? Yan po yung sagot natin sa question number 5. Lower amount between 5.4 and 4.5. So 4.5 yung i-select mo. Compare mo dito. Ang magandang pangano dyan, complicate ng tanong kasi binenta, yung decision was made on June 30. Tapos binigay on January 1, 2025. The carrying amount is 5.4. And may ibibigay na additional info, no, para ma-compute yung depreciation for the next 6 months. Okay, pero dito as is lang siya. Okay? Yan. Available na kasi kaagad, wala ka ng iba pang kukumputin. Number 6, P&L impact. Referring to the same problem. Ano daw yung total loss na i-recognize mo in 2025? Oh, ito obvious na nga ha. Obvious na po ito, including both impairment and disposal. So wala na tayong ibang ewan ko na lang kung malito ka pa, no? Impairment tapos disposal. Eh di pagsamahin natin, may 900 ka dito na difference, tapos meron kang 300, it should be 1,200,000 to answer number 6, letter C. Okay? Alright. Number 7, loss on reclassification. O ito, well, kayang-kaya naman ito. Sige. What amount of loss, kung meron man, ang i-recognize? Meron yan kasi may mga amounts tayo. Dapat may zero, no, na option. Bakit? Ni-reclassify mo siya pabalik sa non-current assets. Okay. On March 1, na-classify mo yung machine as NCA-HFS. At that date, its carrying amount was 6 million. Yun nga lang, noong 2025, walang mahanap na buyer. So, nag-decide na lang na gamitin na lang natin. Hindi natin mabenta-benta. The carrying amount, if the asset was never classified as held for sale, is 5.5. Ibig sabihin, this is already adjusted for any additional depreciation had the machine been continuously used. The fair value less cost to sell is 5.2. The value in use is 5.7. Okay. So, anong gagawin po natin dito? Meron po ba? Ayan. Class. Sabi natin, kapag na-reclassify mo na siya, ang gagamitin na natin is the lower amount between the carrying amount and the recoverable amount. Eh teka, walang recoverable amount. Sure ka ba na wala? Meron. Pero pipiliin mo kung alin. Ang fair value less cost to sell mo, 5.2. Ang value in use mo, 5.7. So anong pipiliin natin? Higher amount. Sa recoverable amount select the higher amount between the FVLCS and the value in use. So you select 5.7. And then we compare it dito sa carrying amount. Tama po ba? As if the asset was never classified. So lower amount, ito pipiliin mo, 5.5. Eh yung nasa libro mo, yung carrying amount ng asset held for sale was 6 million, tapos naging 5.5, di meron ka ngayong 500,000 na loss on reclassification. Okay? So, yan po for number 7. Let me know if you have any questions or clarifications. Proceed po tayo sa number 8. Dito naman, carrying amount after reclassification din. Although sa number 7, loss. For number 8, carrying amount. Pag binalik mo siya sa original classification niya. Ang machine daw may carrying amount na 3.6. Fair value less cost to sell 3.2. Impairment loss was recognized accordingly kasi you have to select FVLCS 400,000. On October 1, 2025, hindi na ibenta yung machine. Okay, management decided na wag na lang ibenta yung machine kasi hindi na na-meet yung criteria. Ang fair value na ay 3.1, ang recoverable amount, ito hindi na pinapakompute. Ito na yun mismo. Okay, so anong pipiliin natin? Excuse me. Lower amount, di ba? Hindi pipiliin natin recoverable amount. Had the asset never been classified. Depreciation for the period January 1. Okay, asa na tayo? Had the asset never been classified as held for sale, depreciation for the period January 1 to September 30, 2025, okay, would have been 300,000. Okay. Ayan, sige. Tignan natin, ano. So, ang tanong, magkano ba dapat yung carrying amount? I am thinking of another answer kasi sana, no, na panglito dito, which is to deduct the 3.2 with the 300,000. Although, hindi naman kasi siya, kung alam mo naman yung computation, no, likely to deduct 300,000 dito sa 3.2. Okay. Ang ating carrying amount, or sorry, yung carrying amount mo is 3.6, no, on January 1, 2025. Tapos, from January 1 to September, meron kang depreciation na 300, ibabawas mo sa 3.6. So, dapat ang carrying amount mo, kung hindi mo siya hineld for sale classification, 3.3, which is still higher than the recoverable amount of 3,050,000. So, ang ating asset will have to be measured at the 3,050,000 because that is the lower amount. Okay? So, number 8, letter A po ang tamang sagot. Okay, number 9 po tayo, no? Alin dito yung mga totoo about this statement sa problem number 8? Kung ang fair value less cost to sell daw increased to 3,050,000. Had, ano yun? Assume that, refer to the previous question. Assume that at the next reporting date, the fair value less cost to sell increased to 3,050,000. Which statements are correct? Okay. Sandali. Nanggaling ka na ng ano okay, sige. Isa-isa na lang natin. Ang carrying amount mo ay 3,050,000. Okay, high tawag nito, lower amount between your carrying amount and recoverable amount. Okay. Ang fair value less cost to sell increased to 3,050,000. Una, the previously recognized impairment may be reversed. Okay. Pangalawa, the carrying amount after reversal is 3,050,000. Okay, the carrying amount cannot exceed the original amount before reclassification. Sandali. Parang nalilito ako dito sa number 9. I-refer daw sa previous question. Na-reclassify mo na siya . So, dapat tuloy-tuloy tayo dito, no? Okay. Ganito, ayusin natin yung problem sa number 9. Assume, refer to the previous question, but, okay. Except that there was no reclassification made. Okay? Or paano ba natin yan i-rephrase? Refer to the previous question, except that there was no reclassification made and the entity is still committed to sell the asset. Okay. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, ignore natin itong portion na to, no? Yung reversal. So, in this case, ang fair value less cost to sell mo ay 3.2, tapos yung carrying amount no ay 3.6. Now, at the next reporting date daw, the fair value less cost to sell increased to 3,050,000. From 3.2 naging, bakit nag-increase? So, medyo, ang tinatanong pa naman dito, impairment reversal. Okay, may problem tayo dito, ano? Okay, sige. Nasa na yon? Okay. Previously recognized impairment loss. Ayusin natin, no? Kaso, i-align natin. Kung 3,050,000, kunwari gawin na lang natin itong sabihin na natin na 3,350,000. Palitan ko gawin ko itong 3,350,000. Tapos ito, gawin din natin 3,350,000. Yan. Okay. Tapos ano yung inano natin? Dinagdag. Ito paki-take note po nito. Except that there was no reclassification made and the entity is still committed to sell the asset. Okay? So at the next reporting date, the fair value less cost to sell increased kasi increased daw increased to 3,350,000. Which statements are correct? Okay. Una, the previously recognized impairment loss may be reversed. Yes, pwede. The carrying amount after reversal is 3,350,000. Tama po, no? Kasi yung carrying amount naman natin ay 3.6, meron kang lower amount ang pinili mo kaya naging ito siya, di ba? 3.2. Umakyat. So, pwede nating i-recognize, no? So, 3,350,000. This will be true. The carrying amount cannot exceed the original carrying amount before the classification. Tama naman din, no, na hindi po pwedeng mag-exceed sa original carrying amount. Okay? Yung reversal is recognized in OCI, mali po yun. So with this adjustment, no, ito po yung tamang sagot natin. Yun nga lang, may mali sa problem. Hindi ko lang alam, no, kasi hindi ko na ito na double check, dumiretso na po tayong sinagutan ito. So at least kita natin, no, yung ating dito, adjustment. All right. So number 9, the correct answer is letter C, provided na na-correct po ninyo itong amounts at saka yung additional statement. All right. So that's for number 9. Let us move on to the last question on impairment reversal. Magkano daw yung maximum gain na pwede nating i-recognize at the subsequent reporting date? Ang carrying amount, measure that fair value less cost to sell ay 300. 6 months later, it increased to 320. The carrying amount before it was classified as held for sale ay 310. Okay, so pagpipilian nyo lang, no? May 300 ka, may 320, may 310, at saka may 0 sa option. Anong sagot? Ang tamang sagot natin dito, class, ay, assuming nabasa nyo na yung A, B, C, D, letter D po, ang tamang sagot. Because, kung ang carrying amount mo, sorry, asa na yan? Asa na tayo? A non-current asset held for sale, carrying amount. Okay. Nag-increase ng 320. Pero originally, before it was classified, 310. So, nagkaroon ka ng impairment loss before na 10,000. From 310 to 300. Okay? Ngayon, naging 320 hanggang 310 ka lang. Kaya, letter D, ang ating tamang sagot. Okay? So, ayun lamang po, no? Hopefully, nasundan po ninyo yung aking mga explanation. Hindi naman masyado may kahirapan, no? Yung ating mga tanong dito. So, that ends our video recording on this MCQ problems. Let me know na lang po if you have any questions. Thank you and bye-bye.